I go by the name of Johnny Massacre, and you are witnessing the Johnny Massacre Show. It has been quite a while, hasn't it? So this is going to be a monologue, something that I'm famous for, mate. From my Star Wars monologue that everyone loves, where I absolutely slated The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens before that. It seems to be my strength, the old monologue. So, yeah, first thing I want to talk about, if you don't know me, is I'm a music producer and a rapper, and that's what I'm always up to. And I'm delving into the YouTube scene. As you can see, my setup is getting more and more elaborate and OCD. I have got this neon sign that might well be coming, which I don't know where I'm going to stick it because this mic is in the way. So if I move that mic though, then there's going to be some space over here. And so, because I'm into the YouTube thing, and I was encouraged by the 110,000 views I got for my Star Wars review rant, I decided to kind of go balls deep on that one. I just got demonetized for saying that. So, this is what the neon sign will look like. Right? So I chose the fonts and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. So that will be basically, it's gonna be like, it's gonna be about like there. God, it's so hard to sort backwards. It's gonna be about there. You can say the Johnny Massacre Show, or maybe over there. And I think that's gonna look pretty awesome. So that's been going on. And I just want to talk a little bit about YouTube, the trials and tribulations of YouTube. So I think I got my first 1,250 followers from my music, and then I got the other half of my 2,500 roughly followers from my Star Wars rant. Now I'm at this weird crossroads because if I post music, which is what I'm all about, I basically lose subscribers. Because think about this, when you go on YouTube and you subscribe to someone, it's quite a big deal because then you start getting recommended loads of crap. So you really got to like it to subscribe to it and pledge your allegiance to that kind of content. Because not only are you going to get stuff from them, which might not be great always, as good as the video you watched that made you subscribe, but as I said, you're also going to get recommended a lot of shit from YouTube and Google's algorithms. So, okay, so let's say you like Gordon Ramsay. I like Gordon Ramsay, so I subscribe to Gordon Ramsay. Then imagine Gordon Ramsay starts posting videos about hanging out with his fucking kids. Oh shit, he does that with Tilly. His daughter Tilly, she really needs to put some makeup on. I don't know how you can be the son of the daughter, she looks like a son, of Gordon Ramsay and be on TV all the time and not have any makeup to tart yourself up and look respectable. She looks fucking awful. And Gordon Ramsay loves a bit of nepotism. He's brought his daughter Tilly in to the shows he does, and she makes her own cookbooks, and it's all really cringy, like family stuff, like oh, this is Tilly's special tea cakes and Tilly's buttercup crunch. No, what for your packed lunch in your school bag back to school. Fuck off, nobody wants that. And so I started getting recommended all that shit. So I unsubbed from Gordon Ramsay, and I love Gordon Ramsay. It's still food related though. So think about it with me, right? If people subscribe to me because of my rants, and then there's like a drum and bass song coming on and going fucking mad, these people are gonna be like, what the fuck, and unsubscribe. So I put up a song and I basically lost 8 subscribers. So I haven't been putting on much content, but if I leave my YouTube alone, it just ticks up the subscribers just tick up daily, like 1 or 2 daily, because of people obviously watching the Star Wars rant. And then when they hear my music, it's like they fuck off because they don't want to hear that content. So I don't really know how to play this, you know. Should I just be myself, man, and just stick to my guns and put my stuff up and lose subscribers from the videos? Or should I just focus on the monologues and stuff? Or can I kind of steer it towards my vlog? So it's whatever I'm doing. That might be ideal, I guess. It's all about the personality, right? And look, I've got my new haircut. People, they're going to fucking love me whatever I do, I hope, in an ideal world. So I'm thinking about how to play this whole YouTube thing. And yeah, I could start a new channel. Fuck, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but I'm going to stick to my guns. I'd rather crash and burn and be real than be someone I'm not. So that's something I wanted to share with you. What else has been going on? So the reason I think I've had a history of kind of appearing and disappearing and shit. It's a habitual thing. And my family has been a little bit antisocial in my formative years, which I think's rubbed off on me. No offense, mum and dad, but come on. You know it's true. So, but it's my choice, you know, and I do flit in and out of the public eye. And my excuse this time is, well, fuck it. No, I'm not going to give you any excuses. But basically, I was taking care of business. And so that's all coming to a head finally. And so I've managed to start organising my studio and cracking on and planning. Now I've got a little bit more free time. I think as of next week, my free time should explode. And here I am. I'm here. And so it's hopefully going to be a regular thing. It would be very awesome to be able to make a living from YouTube. And how hard can it be? Because there's so many YouTubers and they're such wankers. They start their show the same way, like this. Hey guys! If you want to see someone who knows, or people who know how to deliver content, it's conservatives, the right-wing speakers. The conservative speakers are really good with opening up their YouTube videos. Ben Shapiro is the master. You open his show and he gives you 3 points, and then he introduces himself, says who he is, and the show starts because he knows people hate it. So he'll take 3 key things. So Trump talks about this, Trump does that, and blah, blah, blah does this. I'm Ben Shapiro, and this is the Ben Shapiro Show. Bang, it starts. That's how you're supposed to do it. That influenced my style a little bit. And so, yeah, considering the competition is full of those twats who are so cliched. Hey, guys, fucking hell. Surely I can do it if I made 100,000 views off, like, fucking... Hold on a minute. Has my video fucking stopped? I don't know, man. Maybe we're still recording. Yeah, we're still fucking hell. I thought we stopped recording. Jesus Christ, I was panicking there. Okay, sorry, I'm back. So, yes, YouTube. Thinking about YouTube, how I'm going to continue with the YouTube and how I'm going to make my channel popular and what kind of content I'm going to do. Any advice in the comments below. I've got a few core followers who motivate me. They dropped a few comments. One guy's like, when is the theme song to your YouTube show going to come out? And because he said that, I finished it myself, and it's going to come out on September the 1st. So if you drop me comments, I do listen. I really listen to what other people say, and I do actually kind of like criticism. I'm 35 years old, and only recently I kind of really started to understand how important criticism is. Even if it's from some wanker or someone you don't agree with, it's really helpful. You've got to not be emotive the whole time, or you're just going to be led around by everyone else's opinion and feelings. You have to be able to absorb a bit of reality, even if you don't agree with what people say. And so leave some comments about what you think my show should be like, and it's going to be very helpful, and I'll make it better. Symbiotic thing. We'll help each other, man. So speaking of releasing that song, I had a fucking eureka moment. So I've been obsessed with building a recording studio for the last 12 fucking years. As I said, I'm 35 years old, and I studied audio technology and in university from the age of 18 to 21, and I think pretty much from the age of 20 I visualized my studio that I want. So 15 years I've been wanting to build a studio. About 5 years ago, I had some very serious mental issues. I was too stressed, and I basically had a couple of nervous breakdowns because I was working too hard to buy that studio. I've always wanted to be involved in music, and that dream is so strong that I made myself sick pursuing it. So I was working 7 days a week to buy this fucking studio, and it never came to fruition. And I've kind of come all the way full circle back to this point. And it's been a great learning experience because, you know, you got to hit rock bottom to learn sometimes if you're a stubborn fucker like myself. I was very stubborn. I never listened to anyone. Rebellious kid, always out partying, doing drugs, getting into fights, doing stupid, immature shit. And so someone like that is not going to listen. I didn't have many role models in my life because when my parents separated, I lived with my mother, and having 2 teenage boys was just way too much for her. And so my role model was the rave. I used to go out and just rave Friday to Saturday, Sunday morning, just taking ecstasy and having the time of my life. It was an amazing time, but for that reason, I had to pay the penalty later in life, and I had to come the long way around. But in spite of all the hardships that came from that, it's what I needed to get where I am today. As you can kind of see, I'm in a good place, and it's amazing because that studio that I always wanted is so expensive, and it's a little bit too, it was way too expensive to just buy if you don't really know if you're going to need the equipment. So I rented out all the equipment for the studio of my dreams recently, and I want to give a shout out to Hookup in Japan. Hookup is the distributor for a lot of professional audio gear, some of which is the brand known as Manly, and Manly make really beautifully engineered hardware that apparently sounds the business. It's full of vacuum tubes, which are these little devices that look like light bulbs, and it's an amplification device that makes sound louder. And when you push these things and drive them, instead of having a really nasty distortion like you might get with digital distortion, it actually, rather than deconstructing the sound and deteriorating it, it builds up the sound. It generates additional waveforms that kind of all fit snugly together and make an amazing sound. So apparently the Manly gear is shit hot. So I rented a bunch of it. I always wanted it ever since I used it at university. It looks great, feels great, and it is the fucking dog's bollocks, mate. English translation, it's amazing. And I also rented some gear by Chandler. Chandler is a company that has been entrusted by Abbey Road, who, if you don't know, is the studio that facilitated the Beatles recordings, to recreate their legendary hardware. Now, why is that special? Because Abbey Road had in-house engineers that developed bespoke technology specifically for the Beatles and not to be manufactured. That means no expenses were spared and no holds barred. There were no holds barred when they made this technology. It would be way too expensive for the modern market, and so it's specifically for the Beatles. It was fucking amazing. And Abbey Road are capitalizing on their schematics and blueprints that they've kept from all this bespoke hardware, and they have entrusted the company known as Chandler to recreate these devices. And I also rented some of those things out. Also fucking amazing. And I bought a couple. And my eureka moment was mastering. So mastering, if you don't know, is polishing a song and maximizing the volume before it's released. Sounds kind of weird, maximizing the volume. Can't you just turn up a volume fader? No. Mastering and making sounds loud is a fucking art form. It's a science. It's incredibly technical. You can go deep into it to a level of PhD physics engineering, and it's a creative process. You have to use your ears and takes a lot of experience, and mastering costs money. So why do I have to master? Well, everyone else masters their music so it sounds loud. And if you don't master your music and you release it commercially, it will not sound as loud as other releases. It will sound underwhelming, and it will not sound as polished either. And that's a real problem for a lot of music producers like myself, because when we're going to release music, we have to pay money to fucking master it. And if there's 3 versions, a normal version, an instrumental version, and an a cappella version, that's 3 fucking times you're mastering it, and you're spending like 200 quid, $300, whatever. And so a lot of songs won't get released because you don't want to spend the money unless you really have confidence in it to be successful. And I always wondered if I could master stuff. And a lot of mastering engineers, pretty much 90% of the stuff they give back to me, I'm not 100% happy with. Some of it's pretty good, but generally I'm not. And for a long time I accepted it. But why accept mediocrity? Hey, these guys can't get inside my head. If I give them instructions about how I want it to sound, let's be honest, they don't have a real fucking clue what I really want in my heart. And so for a long time I accepted the mastering engineers' shortcomings, and I thought, well, they're looking at it from a different perspective, and that's probably a good thing because you're so wound up in your work, in your little bubble when you're making it. It's probably good someone can have an alien perspective, but fuck that, because I want total control because I'm a creative, and I know I'm very particular about how the sound should be. I'm an elitist, and I only like good shit, and I want it to sound the best. So I got this gear and I tested it all, and it wasn't really working. I couldn't really master it. I could get it sounding juicy and nice, but I couldn't get it loud, because the louder you make it, the more artifacts you get, negative artifacts, and it's this tightrope balancing act of making it it loud without kind of making it sound shit. And right at the end, I got the combination of gear right, and I was like, fuck you, mastering engineers. I can, in that 1 week of working out how to master stuff, I basically finished 3 tracks, and I put one out. It's available in the information box below. It's called Shadow Dancer. That's the song I talked about earlier. It's the theme music to this show, and I mastered that. So listen to it. Listen to the snares, how thick and gooey they are. Listen how loud and chunky it is. So I'm very happy about that. That's what I've been doing recently, and I've basically invested half of the savings I made from this business shit, which I haven't really gone into, and it will bore you to death, into that studio. But I need another $20,000, $30,000, so I'm working out how I'm going to do that. So that's kind of really what I've been doing at the moment, trying to get that side of the studio locked down. The point is, there's a whole load of studio stuff I need, and I can turn it into a side business as well. But the critical factor is I need to get the exact gear that will enable me to master stuff. So the song that I just mentioned, Shadow Dancer, that's coming out on Shibuya Records on 1st of September, that is the theme music to this show. That was mastered with 3 specific sets of gear by the company known as Manly, and I'm going to purchase those 3 bits of gear, and everything else, okay, I'd like to have it now, but I have to be patient. So that's another thing that I've been doing, is learning how to master music and nerding out on some gear. And yeah, I think I've got a lot off my chest and explained what I'm up to now, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it short and sweet. If you're new to the show and you're curious to follow my life and see where I go in my quest to become an elite world-class music producer, then do like and subscribe. And if you're a regular, I fucking love you. Oh wow, the people who leave me comments, who follow my show, it really keeps me going, and it's true. It's a warm feeling, so I really appreciate you guys. That's it. I'm Johnny Massacre, and this is the Johnny Massacre Show.